This is what it looks like to run the load testing on Fireproof now that I've updated the compaction. So I have a Chrome Canary on the left, regular Chrome in the middle, and Safari on the right. And they're all hitting the same database, going through the Party Kit connector, and each one of these browser tabs is capable of running an automated workload, which consists of just clicking the checkbox on the first set of these to-dos, toggling them. And what this test does is runs that workload across as many users as you want to stand up on the same channel, and make sure it's all robust against things happening on the network. So it looks like what happened here is it tried to sync a message it got, but probably the S3 bucket side of the storage wasn't ready yet, and so it failed. And as a database that runs data anywhere, you've got to be robust to that. So in this case, I've got the workload coming from the first two tabs, and the third tab is live workload. So I can add another message here and see it comes up on the other databases within seconds. This clock at the top is the width of the head, the number of forks that's currently being processed by each individual client. The car is how many car files are in the data set locally, and so every time it hits 100 it compacts, and that's managed locally, but then the consensus takes across the group about the data files that are used for reference in the application. So it bounds the number of objects that it has to deal with. And then this inbox here is an indicator of any unprocessed messages that have come from the metadata layer that are not even reflected in the width of the clock head yet. So this is our test case runner, and I'm just going to apply some more workload and see that these clicks eventually make it to all the other clients. Now, what I've noticed is that when I have steady workload on two browsers, and then I bring in the third one, it's fine when it's independent, like point workload, but when it is steady workload, eventually it overwhelms the system's ability to, let's see, I'll refresh and kick this worker off. Now with 3 workers, eventually this clock is going to get wide. We're going to be talking like 7s and 8s over here. And the wider it is, the slower it is. And so once it starts to fall behind, it's falling behind. And the only recourse I've got at this early stage is to pause the workload or reduce the workload and let it catch up. And the easy thing to do is just make it faster. So that's our job as engineers. But what's cool about it right now is even when I push it to the limits and we get the 7s and 8s, when I pause the workload, it recovers correctly, and the interim behavior, it's still acceptable availability, even when it's a high level of forks across the event streams. So what you'll see, the behavior is that when the head is wide, like 3, 4, 5, it takes compute to merge it and do the write. And so you can see it's working here while it figures out, and now that's been written here but not picked up here yet. So it's eventually consistent, and as we optimize it, it'll get faster and faster. What you can see when you run this yourself is network errors that show up as missing block. But so far, the system has been robust and not attempted to integrate those, when it shouldn't. Instead, it's putting it's just picking up again on the next message. All right, so it gets fun because we can see that this is 3, but it's a 2 here, and it's a 1 here. And so we're kind of waiting on the process to quiesce, probably with some network error or something, and it'll take it till the second go round to get that message through. And we can, let's see, I'll just refresh these. Ooh, that's dirty. Same over here, and same over here. And now you can see some of the challenges. Eventually, as it fetches through, these two are coming into sync, and this one probably has some heavy lift compute it wants to do. Let's do a refresh again before it'll be ready. So yeah, that's what happens when I load test it. And if I really wanted to get into debugging this, probably the honest thing to do is just give it like a couple minutes and see if it pops up, and then go deeper. So yeah, thanks for debugging with me. All right.